Hi, budgeters. It's Tahara, the budget coach. I am going to start checking in with you each and every Friday, mainly because I am trying to hold myself accountable for my spending limits. First and foremost, I've been overspending for the past couple of months and I don't want to do that anymore. So, I am using these videos as a way of holding myself accountable and telling myself, hey, you need to make sure that you're spending within the limits or the guidelines that you've set for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to have to go and tell everyone that you've overspent. And that's not what I want to do, being the budget coach. So, I want to give you some background. Don't you wanna be free? With my primary job, I get paid once a month, and that's all I'm going to talk about today, like the payment from that. And what happens is when I get paid, I take out my expenses, take out my savings, put all of that to the side, and what I have left is my free spending money. So I allot myself $1,000 a month of free spending money. So that's about $250 a week. Okay. Now I include gas and I also include groceries in that money. And the reason being is because for me, those are not fixed costs, those are variable costs. And I can basically limit the amount that I am spending on those items if I know that I will have to take that money out of my personal spending money, right? So you're not as likely to spend as much if you know that that is coming out of your personal money, right? So that's the reason why I do it for myself. Some people put it in their expenses as a line item, and that works too. So whatever's good for you, then that's what you should do. For me, I include it in my free spending money again because I know that if I that when I go to the market, I need to be mindful of the amount that I'm spending. And I'm more likely to do that if I know that it's coming out of the money that I give myself to spend. So that's my rationale for that. All right, so I want to go ahead and get started. Now, I got paid on the 29th of June, and so it's been 1 week. 1 week. So I'll give myself $250 to spend this week. All right, so I want to talk about the things that I have spent my money on. So I'm going to start with on June 30th. I went to the Oyster House with a friend, and this is the one in Conshohocken. And so we had happy hour, we had drinks, we had oysters, we had shrimp, and I wish I had pictures, but I don't. I didn't take any pictures at that time. But this happy hour with all of this delicious food only cost $55.67. Now the last happy hour I was at was over $100. But for this one, $55.67. Okay? And you have to know that eating out is like my weakness. I will do that each and every day if I could. So just know that. All right? Okay, so after we went to get some cookies, and so once we got the cookies, those I wanted to make sure that I had a dozen for my family, and I also got me a like ice cream cookie sandwich, and that in total was $17.30. Okay, so $55.67 on the Oyster House happy hour, $17.30 on the cookies that I purchased. All right, so that was all on the 30th. Then on July 1st, I did not spend any money. July 2nd, I didn't spend any money. July 3rd, I did spend money on tacos. So there are these shrimp tacos that I like. near me, and so I got about three of those and some sweet plantains, and that totaled $21.60. Okay, $21.60. Then the last thing that I spent money on was Aldi. So definitely, I went to the market and spent $99.03. So $99.03. Now, in terms of that trip to the market, I actually could have gotten that expense down to $67, but there were two items that I kind of splurged on, and that was like one large fillet of salmon and some nuts that my husband likes to eat. So those two things together were $33. Those two things together were $33. So my bill would have been $66 if I did not get those two items. All right. So altogether, that totals $193.60. Throughout this week, I didn't get any gas because I didn't need any gas for this week. But I will for this upcoming week coming up. But that was my week. And again, I only spent $193.60 out of the $250. As you can see, most of the days I did not spend anything. Most of the days I didn't have to spend. Obviously, you go to work, once you have your market, you just eat what's in the house, you take your lunch, and there you go. I didn't really have to spend anything outside of that. So there you go, $193.60 out of $250. So now I get to roll over $56 over into the next week. So I have about $300 to play with for this upcoming week. And what I want to do is when I come back on next Friday, I want to make sure that I don't spend any more than that. $250 is the goal, but if I spend up to $300, it's fine because I saved $50 this week. Okay? All right. So let's hold each other accountable. I want you to hold me accountable, and I want to hold you accountable for your free spending money. Remember, we never want to overspend. We also never want to, overspend. Don't overspend. You overspend when you do not have any more cash to pay for anything, and then you start charging things. It's not what you want to do, okay? So let's hold each other accountable, and I hope to see you here next week.